Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for a good old-fashioned mail video here on the channel. Just going to get into a little stack here that I have, maybe half a dozen or so pickups from this past winter, baseball off season, that kind of time frame, some modern shine, some serial numbered cards, and other goodies like that. So we're going to turn the camera around here and get right into it, so stay tuned. All right, here we are with the pickups in front of us. Let's just get down to it here. We're just going to go through the stack top to bottom. We're going to start with one of my absolute favorite shiny sets of all time, 1999 Bowman's Best. This is a refractor, and look at that etching through the jersey here on Tom Glavine. Incredible. I learned about this set years back from a good hobby buddy of mine, Eric, over at Those Back Pages. Discovered this on his channel, and I became obsessed with these. I think they're some of the nicest shiny cards ever made, and arguably the best etching, ever used on any card design. Like, just incredible. Looks absolutely stunning. And found this Tom Glavine for $6. I think it was discounted because it does have a print line here. That is something that drives me nuts. You can see on the back they only made 400 copies of each refractor, serial numbered. And I'll tell you, out of those 400, wouldn't be surprised for any player if 100 of them have a print line somewhere along the card. There are always horizontal lines like this. You can only see them in certain light. When I hold it like this, it's not super noticeable. When you tilt it like that, it's very, very noticeable. So I think it's just, the changeover in paper, that they were printing on or something. I'm not sure exactly what causes it, but yeah, for $6 with free shipping to get another Hall of Famer into my little kind of side collection that I have of those, I will take that all day long. Awesome card there. And to go along with that, this is one that I actually bought like a year or two ago and forgot to show off in a video. Now it seems like a great time to go along with the Tom Glavine, also have the Pedro Martinez. And I like this one even more, obviously, being a New England native and a Red Sox fan. And not to mention, by 1999, Pedro Martinez was, at the apex of his career and one of the most talented pitchers in all of Major League Baseball for at least a couple seasons there. I mean, he had Sandy Koufax-like campaigns around the turn of the century, so I'm really, really happy to have this one. Card that I may send off to PSA at some point. This one is not suffering from the print line anywhere. It looks pretty clean, and I would love to get that one slabbed and encapsulated at some point in the future, but happy just to have it in any form. Just gorgeous cards. I mean, you can really see they do well on video, just like they do in hand. I have one soccer card here. It's going to be a quick one from Topps Finest, UEFA Champions League. This is a purple refractor of Harry Kane. Got this for about $4 because not many people care about soccer, and purple seems to be a color of refractor that folks aren't super high on. So this is just going to go in the Soccer Z folio. Kane continues to just add to his numbers and is going to go down as one of the best goal scorers in Premier League history, the league that I watch the most. So I do have a Harry Kane section in my Soccer Z folio that these will be going into. I got a Xander card here. Picked this one up long before he migrated to San Diego. Just trying to get a lot of different versions of the 2017 Topps Chrome card. This is the blue wave refractor, of course. You can see the wave, especially in this upper right portion of the card. Not an expensive card at all. This was under $10 and is numbered to 75. You can see here on the back. So that is going to go into the Xander Z, and I think possibly complete an entire page of 2017 Bogarts cards in different formats. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm going to transition just for two cards now over to hockey, and then we're going to finish with an awesome baseball card that is probably the highlight of this video, in my opinion. But before we get to that, I have two of my favorite parallel of all time in hockey to get to, the Upper Deck Exclusives parallel. Again, I've shown these many times, but serial numbered to 100, going all the way back to the late 90s. And picked up a couple of Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby, who just continues to produce, in the same way that Ovechkin does. I think Ovechkin's getting the majority of the spotlight as he chases Gretzky's goal record, but they're neck and neck, with each other in terms of career points and other accolades. And Crosby is just a very effective player even now. Has found himself in the top 10, top 12 in the league in scoring at times throughout the season, even in his late 30s. So I respect the heck out of Sidney Crosby. And got this beautiful exclusives. Check this out, taking a face-off here against an Islander. Got the prominent exclusives gold foil and serial numbering. You can see right here. Just awesome. He was known, especially earlier in his career, but even now, as a really, really effective face-off man. And so I love this. I do have almost a side little Crosby collection here of cards with him in the face-off dot. Not really on purpose, but just kind of worked out that way. Take a look at the back. This is from the 2010-2011 Upper Deck set. So he had been in the league a handful of years at this point. So it's a relatively early career Crosby, and snagged this on eBay for under $30. So very, very happy with that. I do not have a complete Crosby run like I do for Ovechkin. He's really my primary player PC, but I am trying to just slowly grab Crosby's when I can to kind of at least have a semi-decent collection of his. And on that note, I have a second one of Crosby. And let me get this out of its baggie. This is actually a card that I picked up probably 6 months ago and have just not found the time to show off. But in the same vein as that face-off card, we have this canvas card, which I've shown on the channel many times and discussed. Big fan of this card. It's a Connor McDavid card, but he is shown facing off against Sidney Crosby. And just really dig that, passing of the torch type vibe that you get out of this with Crosby, who at this point had been a premier player in the league for, 10 to 15 years. And McDavid, who was new to the league when this card came out, just a couple of years into his career. Love this photograph. So just really cool. And got another Crosby recently, as I alluded to, that kind of matches up with both of those Crosbys that we just looked at. Another face-off special here on the 2015-16 Upper Deck design, the exclusives Crosby. And obviously this is not my favorite slab. I'm not a big fan of Beckett grading, BGS, BVG, any of that. It has a baggie in here, which really drives me nuts with respect to the reflection. But if I tilt this a little bit so you can get a better look at the card, you can clearly see the exclusives banner, the serial numbering to 100, and of course, as I said, yet another card of Crosby in the face-off circle. And it's amazing, when you hold it side by side with the 2011, I'll bring these up to the forefront, it's a very, very similar image. You can see the name on the back of his sweater on both, the visor on both. He's kind of leaning in. So it's almost like getting a home and away jersey version of a very similar shot, albeit the one on the right here was a few years after the one on the left. So this is a, mid-career Crosby card, but, same thing goes for this that I said about the prior one. Just any exclusives, numbered to 100 Crosby is not an easy card or one to take lightly, and just happy that I found this one to add to the run. I don't typically look for these graded, but especially once they've been out a few years, the supply on these is just so limited, which is part of what I love about them, that you sometimes have to just bend the rules a little bit and exercise some flexibility in picking up the cards that you want, because if you are too picky, you'll simply never get them. Sometimes copies of those don't surface for years on end. And last but not least, I promised an awesome baseball card, and I am going to deliver. And I want to do just a quick shout out here and give some credit, because this is one that was directly inspired by another YouTube channel. So my buddy Jason over at Contrarian Cards here on YouTube, I will leave a link below in the description to his channel. Highly recommend checking him out. But long story short, he is a big fan, as am I, of gold cards numbered to 50. He has a tremendous collection. His blows mine out of the water in terms of gold cards to 50. And he showed one recently that I just immediately, and I'm talking, his video ended, I went one tab over to eBay, searched, and, made an offer to, and within an hour had secured my own copy of this card. That's how much I was flattered when I saw this. So I showed the base version of this. It's the 2022 Topps Satchel Paige Retired Legends, variation. But check this out. This is from the Topps Gilded or Topps Chrome Gilded release, and they did up a gold, speckled version of the Satchel Paige from this year, or from last year, I should say. We're in 2023 now, but this is the 2022 Topps short print of Satchel Paige getting the gilded treatment. So I don't know a whole lot about gilded. I believe it's a standalone set that's relatively expensive as I understand it. I think you get just a handful of cards and it's, you know, a couple or a few $100s per box. So it's a sort of a high-end chromium product. Not really for me, but as I said, I saw Jason showed this exact card, the Satchel, which is numbered out of 50. I think this is like gold mini speckle or something like that. I forget exactly. But as you can see on the back, in the upper right, this is numbered out of 50. And what's extra cool about this one, I don't really pay up for this or anything, but it is kind of neat that I got copy 1 of 50, the first one off the print line, or as Jason would say, the alpha in his lingo. So, man, look at that Satchel Paige. Like, tell me that's not one of the most beautiful cards you've seen in a while as far as modern shine goes. And I just love this like bronze look that the gilded set has. It really goes well with the photo here and all the different browns that are in the color. The Browns logo, a lot of oranges, brown t-shirt. It really, really fits together nicely. He's got the Browns cap on, striped socks, just gorgeous. So I fell in love with the base version of this card, and then I fell in love with it all over again when I saw it on Jason's channel over at Contrarian Cards. So just the latest of many examples over the past 2 years now, 2+ years of YouTube inspiring me and making my collection a better collection based on the things that I learn on others' YouTube channels. So Jason, thanks so much for making me aware of this card. Happy to be one of the other 49 owners alongside you. And to everybody else, I really appreciate you stopping by to check out some of these recent pickups. Hope you enjoyed it. Love to hear from you in the comments. And I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Till then, take care and enjoy the hobby, everybody.